So, good evening to all, and greetings to the 64th, uh, the 65th, pardon me, episode of Analytics Wednesday. The session is on analytics for a pharma company case studies, and our speaker for this evening is Mr. Jagdish Talaisa. Jagdish is the General Manager Internal Audit at Alkem Laboratories Ltd. And the Analytics Wednesday webinar series is brought to you by Pharma Audit Systems and Softwares Private Limited, and it is supported by the Government of Canada Trade Commissioner Service. We've got a very exciting session this evening, and I've personally worked with Jagdish, his team, and his Vice President, Mr. Sujit Shetty, and they're doing wonderful work in data analytics, and I'm sure we'll get to hear about it in their webinar this evening. Let me formally introduce Jagdish. He is a wonderful blend of a career internal auditor and a technology expert. So he's a chartered accountant with over 13 years plus years of experience in internal audit and risk management in the life sciences sector across geographies. He's managed and delivered a wide array of engagements such as risk-based internal audits, cost-saving projects, business process improvements, IFC enterprise risk management, which have resulted in significant control enhancement and potential savings for his organizations. He has led and conducted audits, internal audits of domestic manufacturing operations, depot operations, corporate areas such as pricing, travel, hospitality, treasury operations, and he's undertaken audits of international subsidiaries in Chile, Philippines, and other international locations. He's worked on risk identification and mitigation plans under the enterprise risk management framework for the management. And he's been a core team member for cost-saving projects like Udan and PACE, along with McKinsey and other Big Four consulting units, which have resulted into automation of various process and improvements in efficiency and productivity of organizations. Prior to Alkem, Jagdish has worked as a consultancy and internal audit services to clients like Glenmark, Cipla, Wockhardt, Wimco, Birla Sun Life Insurance, Bajaj Alliance Insurance, and Citibank, amongst other companies. So we've got a real expert with us today. And I formally, Jagdish, welcome you to the 65th webinar. And as everyone knows, Pharma has been doing a lot of cutting edge work in data analytics on Caseware IDEA, continuous monitoring solutions, ALISA, on legal compliance management systems, Lex Comply, and working paper management solutions for financial auditors, Caseware working papers. So Jagdish, I hand the session over to you, and we look forward to hearing from you this webinar evening.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, and I've made you the host, Jagdish. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jairam, for the kind words.
Thank you.
And a very good evening to all attendees. And welcome to the 65th webinar on analytics for a pharma. I'm glad that I have given the opportunity by Pharma Audit to present the industry thoughts or experience to others and how this has benefited us, our organization. And definitely, I'm sure this will add values to others. And I will put my presentation on the screens. Please let me know when it is visible. Okay.
Yeah, Jagdish, we'll let you know. Sure. Yes, we can see Jagdish. Thank you.
Okay. So before starting, I just wanted to, I understood that there are mixed audience. Like some are having more experience, some are new to this. So I will make my presentation as simple as, so the whole purpose of this presentation is that we wanted the people to enable to learn these things. And our mission is not to transmit the information, but to transform the learners. So with this, let's begin our presentation. Just a second. Yeah. The agenda for the webinar will follow following things. Will cover following things. First, we'll cover about data analytics. what is data analytics, how it is important. Then we'll cover transformation of internal audit with data analytics, how it has transformed our internal audit process with the help of data analytics. Then we'll see some sample case studies on analytics for a pharma. After that, last but not the least, we'll see question answer session. Going to the next slide about data analytics. What is data analytics? Data analytics, if I say in simple words, it is a process of analyzing the raw data and converting it into valuable information. Valuable information that after converting, which can be used for your day-to-day decision makings. In simple word, if I would like to explain the process, I will quote one word that data is like garbage. You should better know what you are going to do with that before collecting it. So in this, what I mean to say is that you should know the purpose why you are collecting and what is your expectation from that before collecting your data. Then only it will serve the purpose. We'll see short process of the data analytics. For example, first thing is in process is that identifying the problem. Means what is your expectation, what is your goal, what is the problem. First need to identify that because your designing data or your requirement of data will depend upon your problems, what is you want to achieve. Accordingly, you have to design your data and based on your data requirement, you collect those data and you also have to clean those data as per the requirement. After cleaning, the next stage is that you have to perform the analytics over that data. That collected data you can upload in any analytical tools and perform the analytics over that data. And with that, you will generate your few exceptions, certain exceptions. That exception will be, you can visualize those exceptions, and after visualization, you can come to a conclusion and you can make decision on the basis of those data. So this is the overall process of data analytics. We'll move to next slide. Why we should do data analytics? Few questions comes in mind why we should do. There are various benefits. We'll cover some of them. The data analytics main purpose of doing the data analytics is that to gain a competitive edge in an increasingly digital economic landscape. What does it mean and why I'm saying this? Because in the era of digitalization, we should have always advantage over our competitors. Because the if we do not have a advantage over our competitors, then it will be difficult for our growth of the company and sustainability of the company. And we should always have an advantage over competitors for the growth and sustainability. Next point is timely decision making. Here I mean, for any successful outcome of your decision, it depends upon the timing. Because if the timing is not important, if timing is not correct, then your decision will not work. That's why what we wanted to say, for any decision making, it should be taken on time. And with the help of data analytics, you can do the faster analysis and take the informed decisions. Next, fuel for growth of company. Basically, the analysis assists you in better understanding of the business and identifying the opportunities for the improvements. What are the opportunities available in the organization which can be improved? And with that, you can increase your efficiencies. And that helps your organization to do the work in better ways. And we'll go to next, save energies and times on repetitive way. Why I'm saying save energies and time? Because there are many tasks which is a repetitive nature, which can be automated with the help of data analytic tools. And you can do analysis based on that data, and you can save your times on repetitive works. We'll see this with the example in your on our coming slides. Next is increase in productivity. Why I'm saying increase in productivity? Because data analytics reveals certain indicators, insights, which is very helpful, which we can show to the management that these are the areas of improvements where we can improve and where we can improve. And after that, ultimately, it will help you to also inform the peoples where they have to be more aware and efficient in their work, and which will ultimately result in your productivity, which will you can see your results that results in your productivity. Moving to next, what is transformation of internal audit with data analytics? Why I'm saying why there is a demand for rising demand for transformation of internal audit, because there is an increased focus on risk, compliance, governance, and transparency, which actually required internal auditors to have to develop deeper knowledge on the business understandings. What is the business processes and everything, and also they must evaluate each and every processes from the perspective to identify the better processes, what are the gaps, and have in-depth knowledge, and also to identify the patterns, trends, and what are the abnormal transactions. And also, the auditors can improve their internal audit proposition with the help of data analytics. By leveraging these data analytics tools, techniques, and approaches, the internal auditor can lead the are able to lead their way in responding to the changing business environment. Why I'm saying? Because business environment is changing in day-to-day life. Every there new processes coming, and for that to understand, to analyze, we require the data analytics tools. There are some benefits with the data analytics tools which we will cover, and how internal audit is benefiting from that. First point is that related to large data coverage. In traditional audit, we are not covering the large data. With the help of data analytics, we can cover the 100% of the population also for analysis and exception generation. And second point is that from simple to complex techniques. Second benefit. Here I mean that with the help of data analytics, you can even configure or build even complex to complex techniques and analyze that processes and get the exception generated from that. Next one is increase in efficiency. Why I'm saying increase in efficiencies here? Because in the traditional audit methodologies, there were many works which is manual, which is repetitive in nature, which basically takes out our time from the valuable activities. We were not able to focus on the valuable activities because of the repetitive natures and manual works. How data analytics help us? Data analytics help us in automating those manual works and giving and devoting deploying more time to the analysis, which can give the which you can provide a deeper insight to the organization, where organization stands and how organization can improve. Next point is preventing future problems. Why I'm saying preventing future problem? Because with the help of data analytics, you get insights, you get indicators. Where is the problems? What are the control gaps, and where we can improve? Even though there's no case happened, but with the control gaps identified, we can implement, build in our system, and plug those gaps. And with that, we can avoid future problems. Also, for example, I have identified duplicate payments through the help of data analytics. Then, what is our role? That to identify what is the control gaps, where was the control gap due to that which has happened. So those control gaps, after identifying, we can plug those gaps and avoid the future occurrence of the same problems. Improve audit quality. Here, obviously, with the help of data analytics, our audit qualities will be improved as compared to the traditional ways of auditing approach. And obviously, with better analysis, with the help of data analytics, we can do the better analysis of the exceptions. New takes about that data. With the help of data analytics, you can see those things which is previously not seeable. Means in traditional auditing approach, we are reporting mainly on the surface details. Meanwhile, the organization is missing out on the whole host of dark data. Means the information we are collecting but not reporting on that. To explain further in simple way, there is a research which says that total population of data, out of total population of data, there is only 12% of data is a critical business data, which is we are analyzing, which is important critical business data. And around 23% of the data is which says that ROT data. ROT means redundant, obsolete, and trivial, which means that those data is not useful as of now, or it is become outdated, can't be used, or it is having less importance. And the 65% remaining data, which they say is the dark data, which is means untouched, which we have not seen, and with the help of analytics, we can arrive at a new place of the dark data with new things, insights, indicators. We can get those. Next point is related to eliminating random sampling. Why I'm saying eliminating random sampling? Actually, random sampling is time consuming and outdated techniques. With data analytics, we can automate those analyses, and also we can cover the entire population. More added, next point is more added value and credibility. This is the overall, with this all advantages, what will happen? We'll add more values to the organization. We'll improve the systems, controls, and also will increase the credibility to the stakeholders and the management, even to the audit committee. As you all know, we have to quarterly basis, we have to present to the management and audit committees, and we are using the tools and techniques. Then our values will add more values, and our credibility will be increased. So moving to the next on case studies, we'll see some of the case studies which is pharma based, which can be applied to others also. Next, first case study is related to pricing or bonus. Why are you taking pricing and bonus? Because the pricing is the key process in any business, and it is not restricted to pharma. It can be applied to any industries where pricing is applicable everywhere. And management auditors don't want to lose controls over the pricing, because why I'm saying that, because if we lose the controls, it can impact substantially to the organization. Even small mistake can impact substantial. So with this, we'll first understand what is the sales process and where pricing impacts, where pricing comes into the picture. For example, first process is that sales process, that we receive the orders from the customers. And after getting those orders, we are punching it into SAPs. After all due approvals we get from the concerned person like accounts and all, then we punch, create the outbound. Outbound is given to the store persons for the picking of the goods. After all the goods are picked and packed, then invoice is generated in the system. Here is the main your pricing effects. Your pricing come into the pictures. After that, all form approvals are done. Then goods are packed and dispatched to customers. This is the basically sales process, and at the stage of invoicing, pricing comes into the picture. We'll see with the example, and it will be clear more. For example, in this case study, we have taken bonus scheme validation. We wanted to do bonus scheme validation for the organization. So we have taken two data. For example, one is the master data. What is master data? Master data is basically the approved data. For example, someone has to fix the pricing or bonus for the organization. Then that is all approved by all stakeholders, and that is uploaded into the system. And what is bonus means in day-to-day life, you must have seen that if you have gone to the mall, then you must have seen that if you buy two, you will get the three. That is bonus, which is applicable everywhere. So first data is related to master data. In that, what happened after approval, this is updated into system. For example, product ABC is updated in system, and for A division. Here, if customer suppose buy 100 quantity, then you will get 23. That means 20% bonus. And the scheme is valid for 1st April to 17 April. And on 18 April, they have changed the scheme. For example, if customer buys 100, then he will get only 15. It means that with effect from 18 April, they have reduced the scheme to 15%. That is effective from 18 April. And if we wanted to validate those conditions, then with the help of data analytics, what we have done, we have taken the invoice data for the April months. For example, we have built a one customer XYZ. These are all sample case studies generated for the. So we have generated, suppose for example, two invoices. Invoice one is generated on 18 April, and the product ABC was billed to customer, and the sale quantity was 1,000, against which the system has generated 200 bonus quantity, three quantity. So percentage is around 20%. In second case, the invoice was generated on 22nd April, and the product name was ABC, and where the customer has ordered for 500 sale quantity and he got 75 bonus quantity. The scheme was given 15%. How to analyze in the data analytics? There is a functionality called visual connector. With the help of that, we can easily validate those conditions. For example, we can take the invoice data as a base file and bonus master as a secondary file. With visual connector, we can use the common field that is product. We can join both the files. What you will get against each invoice, you will get all the bonus records. After getting those data, you can further extract with the formula called @ between date. What will happen with that formula? You will eliminate those invoice, those conditions which is not ranging between the invoice, not falling in the invoice. And after excluding that simple, you have to take the differences. You will get the conditions validated. For example, in the first invoice was generated on 18 April, and customer ordered 1,000 and got 203. He got the 20% bonus. As per the bonus master, on 18 April, the scheme was revised and scheme reduced to 15%. Ideally, the customer should have got 15% only, but he got 18%. Why he got that to be further analyzed? And there may be many reasons why this happens. And to analyze this, for example, what will be the conclusion and outcome? For example, there may be a delay in updation. Scheme is started from 18 April, and the person who is updating the scheme, he might have updated on 19 April. Because of that, this might happen. Second one is the error in updation. He might have updated 20% and then rectified later on. Because of that also, it can possibly happen because invoice was already generated. And after he correct it or update it, then it will apply previous schemes. And third one is the backdated changes in the system. There is always possibility that someone is having the right to change the scheme and backdate it. So these are the possible outcomes you can get after analyzing with the help of visual connectors, and you can validate those conditions. Moving to the next case study, it is sales incentive schemes. Why I am taking sales incentive? Because two reasons. One is that sales incentive is also substantial spend based. Second one is it is the complex process. Why we want data analytics? Because there are many complex processes which needs to be audited and validated. So sales incentive is one of the complex process where too many conditions are there which needs to be validated. Basically, to explain in simple, what is sales incentive? It is a plan given to employee to motivate them and to drive the sales growth. If they achieve, they will get the incentive. If they not achieve, they are not eligible for the incentive. This is basically for the sales growth. You'll see with the example, and you'll see better with these examples. I will explain here what is the complexity in the sales incentive schemes. For example, I have taken two schemes. One is product incentive scheme. Second one is brand incentive. I'll first explain the product incentive scheme. What is that? This product incentive scheme is that if individual product is achieved, then employee is eligible to get those incentives. For example, PMPM, that is per member per month. Here we have to calculate the volume per member, how much employees achieve. For example, if he has achieved 0.20 to 0.35 lakh volume, and if he has achieved 100%, then he will get 2000 as a bonus. Why this is process complex? Because this is the one condition where if he has achieved 100%, then he will get the 2000 as an incentive. And there are secondary conditions that on every 5% additional, if he has achieved up to 125%, then he is going to add 150 for additional 5%. For example, if he has achieved 105%, then he will get 150. If achieved 110%, then he will get 300. For every additional 150, you will add on. And if you achieve more than 125, then you will add 1000 more. Likewise, slab-wise, the scheme is defined. And over and above these slabs, there are other conditions as well to make this complex more, make more complex. For example, headquarter and brand groups. They have to achieve the headquarters and brand group also. If it is not achieved 100%, then he is not eligible. And second condition was that subsequent month they have to achieve 98% HQ target, and product wise also they have to achieve. What is HQ? In simple word, I will say that there is a one zone created where there are 10 field force are working, 10 employees are working for and target is given. And subsequent month 98% means, for example, we have drafted the scheme for quarter one. And if he has achieved 100%, he is eligible. But the secondary condition is that he has to achieve this for subsequent month also. If the scheme is for quarter one, that is April to June, then he has to achieve at least 90% for July month also. Otherwise, he is not eligible for the schemes. Likewise, in brand incentive, here also PM per month ranging slab is given, and brand incentive is the combination of multiple products is the one brand. For example, company is having suppose 6 brands, and company has given the incentive plan for the brand achievement. If employee is achieving 4 brands out of 6, and is PMPM, that is per month per member per month, volume is 3 to 5 lakh, then he will add for additional 500 over and above the product incentive. Likewise, if he is achieved 5 brand, then value will added go continues on. And there are other conditions as well. For example, HQ and brand, as mentioned in the product incentive, same way here also, the if he is not achieving total brand wise 100% for that quarter, then he is not eligible. In subsequent month also, same conditions applies, and he has to achieve he has to fulfill all the conditions. Complexity not completes here. There are many more conditions as well. These are a few examples. And over and above product-wise incentive and brand incentives, there are certain general conditions which is applicable to all schemes. For example, outstanding above 40 days will be treated as goods return for all types of incentives. What I mean here, for example, whatever sales we are taking for incentive calculation, that sales needs to be recalculated. Means suppose I have sold 100 quantity in a month, and out of 120 quantity, we have not received the collection for more than 40 days. It means as per this condition, we will count for incentive only 80 as a sales. And if he is achieved only 100%, then he is not eligible for that scheme, because after considering the general condition, he is not he has not achieved the incentive schemes. Likewise, there are other conditions. Any sellable return more than 6 months expiry will be deducted 2 times. What does it mean? Means whatever goods we are receiving, suppose whatever goods received at that time, if the shelf life, remaining shelf life for that product, because in pharma, every product has a shelf life. If at the time of receipt, if that product has a shelf life more than 6 months, it is counted as sellable return. And for incentive purpose, there is a condition that we will deduct 2 times. We have already taken net sales, one time is already deducted. Then for incentive calculation purpose, we have to deduct one more time. Why I am explaining this complexity? Because this is the complex world where there are multiple conditions. These are a few incentive schemes which we have shown, demonstrated you, and with the other conditions, general conditions. There are many more conditions given to the employees need to be achieved for to be eligible for the incentive. And with the manual process, we can't validate all the conditions. We require some tools, techniques to validate those conditions in better way and authenticate it. So with the help of data analytics tools, we can map those conditions in the data analytics tools and check whether all the eligible employees got the incentive or not. What is the conclusion after validation? You will see in the next one. Conclusion and outcome will be like, suppose while updating the conditions at the programming, someone has missed one condition. Like as I mentioned, that outstanding above 40 days is not eligible for the sales. If someone has missed one condition, then there is a possibility that someone who is not eligible, he might got the incentive and company may lose the on that. Second is that incorrect mapping. What does it mean? Means incentive scheme calculation, you have to map all the schemes with the headquarters who is eligible and all persons need to be mapped with that respective headquarters. If we have not done correct mapping, means some persons are mapped to wrong headquarters, then the whole calculation will be go for a toss. That things need to be checked properly and validated. There is also possibility that error in updation of the scheme. For example, if he has achieved 3 to 5 lakh volume, then he is eligible for 1000 rupees. By mistake, if he has entered 2000, then that employee will get the extra benefit. Those conditions we can see through the data validation. And the main thing is that the absence of validation check. With this all, we'll come to know what is the main problem, what is the root cause. Because for every schemes, when we approve and enter into write that program, enter into system, then the validation checks need to be done. What does it mean? Means whatever schemes are updated need to be done with the sample scenarios, like what may go wrong. With the help of sample scenario, we can improve the controls. Okay, we'll go to next case studies that is related to expense analysis. Here, this is the generally every auditor does their audit expense analysis, and what they want is that the exceptions. While doing the audit, if they get the handy exceptions, then it will be easy for them to do the audits. And with the help of data analytics tools, we can generate the exception like abnormal transaction in the spend base. And there are functionalities in the analytical tools like relative size factor. What is that? Relative size factor. Relative size factor is the functionality which gives you the difference between the largest amount and second largest amount. What is the range time? How many times largest amount is greater than the second largest amount? With that, with example, we'll come to know. For example, I have taken two scenarios. Means in one case, vendor has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Largest amount booked in the vendor account is 54 lakh. And second largest amount is 2,76,000. And the average amount is 55 lakh 496. There are 12 transactions. And after analyzing the data analytics, uploading into the data analytics, the answer factor is 19.55. In second case, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 vendor, there is a large amount is 91,000. Second largest amount is around 86,000. And the average amount is around 46,000. So total number of transactions under this vendor account is around 7. And with the data analytics results is showing as RSA factor is 1. Higher the number, more the critical 1. With this, we can know the exceptional items. For example, here is the first one is the exceptional items, which is the indicators, insights given by tools. This is not the final, which needs to be further analyzed, evaluated, discussed with the and further checked during the audits. For example, we have got the instances. After further analyzing, we'll come to know whether this is genuine transaction or something has happened there's an error or what. With this, we can likewise we can generate many more exceptions. In analytical tools, there are predefined scripts available which we can run, and also you can create your own script based on your analytical thinking. What do you want? You can create your own script also. We'll move to next case study. Actually, this is not related to audit because I wanted to highlight two things. One is that idea or any analytical tool is not restricted to internal audit. It can be used in any other process as well. And with the help of that process, analytical tools, we can improve in other processes as well. Because why I'm taking this cost saving project? Because we were part of the cost saving projects, which is under in our organization, and where our role was to validate the ideas generated and track the accrual. What was the challenge? Why I'm taking this condition? The challenge was that accrual reporting need to be done on monthly basis, and this need to be reported to the management on time, and the data need to be accurate. Looking at the complexity of the scenarios, we need to have the data analytical tools, some tools which can give quick reports based on the developed reporting system script. We will further divided these cost saving ideas into two parts for more clarity. There may be more ideas where we can save the cost. Here I will divide it cost saving into two parts: price negotiation and spec optimization. What is price negotiation? Price negotiation is basically at what currently we are purchasing and what is the negotiated price, where after idea generation we have negotiated it. And difference between that is the saving. But straightforward, we can't take the saving because there are multiple conditions, multiple complexities. Because for example, if you see in the, we need to first define the baseline, what is the current purchase price, and there are for reduction in the purchase price, there are multiple factors. So for that, we need to indexing also, do the indexing factoring also. What is indexing? Indexing in simple word, if I say, for example, we are purchasing aluminum foils. Okay, aluminum foils price is not dependent upon only negotiation because there are the multiple market factors also driving these prices. For example, if aluminum price is fluctuating, then your aluminum foil price may also fluctuate based on the aluminum price in the market. For that purpose, we have to do the indexing also. Why I'm indexing it? Because, for example, suppose I have taken the base price as 100 as my current purchase price. After idea generation, we have negotiated with the vendor and we have come to the price, suppose 80 rupees. So if you see, the 20 is the saving. We can't report that 20 directly because if there is a possibility that due to market fluctuation, the price come down, then we have to factor those criteria conditions also. And with the help of indexing and analytical tools, we can calculate the actual savings, which need to be reported to the management. Next is spec optimization. What is spec optimization? Basically, is a specification optimization where there are multiple types of ideas coming under these brackets. One is the volume reduction. Second one is the change in specs. For example, currently we are procuring five-ply boxes cheaper, and we are moving to three-ply or four-ply. Then there's a saving because five-ply will cost different, seven-ply will cost different. There's a potential saving if we change this spec size. Likewise, there are multiple ideas, and we need to track those ideas, validate those ideas, and report on a monthly basis to management. So for that, what we have thought, this is the repetitive task and time consuming also, and we need to have a authenticated accuracy also in that report. So we have analyzed through analytical tools, and we have saved the time also. For example, volume reduction we have taken as an example. One thing in the any cost saving project, we have to first baseline. We have to decide what is the baselining for that ideas. Suppose in pharma, we are manufacturing only one product called XYZ, and we require 1 lakh tablets. For that, multiple products will be required. like raw material, packing materials, and every material having different quantities. We have taken example of file. Suppose for to manufacture 1 lakh tablets, 150 kg of foil is required, and the current price for that foil is 100. After idea generation, what happens? If suppose we have reduced it to 135 kg, then there is a saving of 15 kg. How to track that in with the help of data analytical tools? So with the help of data analytical tools, we can simply to take two types of details. Like one the baseline details, and second one is the production details. In production details, suppose we have taken for 1 month production details, like we have taken XYZ, two batches were manufactured, and one batch is we have taken 3 lakhs, second batch where we have taken 2,50,000. And material consumption again both the batch was 405 kgs and 337 kgs. If I want to track the accrual, then with the help of analytical tools, what we will do, we will first upload the baseline data which is available with us, which have the standard batch size, what is the standard quantity, and what is the saving we have done by changing the ideas in reduction in the quantities. With that, what we will do, we will club both the file, join with both the file with the help of script or ideas monthly production data, and we'll get the all the baseline file with the production details, actual production details. After that, what we need to do, that we have to first calculate, because we can take directly difference, because batch size is different. When we have done the idea analysis, at that time the batch was 1 lakh, and when we have taken the actual batch, at that time batch size was 3 lakh. Means we have taken the batch of to manufacture 3 lakh tablets in single batch, and accordingly the consumption quantity will vary. So we need to first calculate the standard quantity as per actual batch size. Suppose for 1 lakh quantity, we require 150 kg of oil. So how much quantity requires for 3 lakh? So it comes around 450 kg. Likewise, for second case, it's come around 375 kg. Then after calculating the standard quantity as per actual batch size, we can take the difference between both, that 450 kg minus 405 kg, and the difference will be 45 kg, and that can be directly multiplied with the base rate, and we will get the accruals. And repetitive works can be automatically automized, and no need to. Also, we can eliminate the dependence on human, because if we do, one person is handling this case and he only know what is the files and all, how to do the calculation, then we are heavily dependent on that. With the help of analytical tool, if the script is generated, you will save time, you will eliminate dependence on single person also. To conclude and to summarize this, what I will use one quote, that time is really the only capital that any human can has, and the only thing he can't afford to lose. Why I am using this quote? Because time is money, and we should not waste our times in the repetitive works, manual tasks, and we should try to optimize those things with the help of analytical tool, any tools. We can automate those things, and we can use those times for the valuable things and analyze those other things effectively. With the help of that, we can increase our productivity also, and it will help the organization also. With this, we can move on to the question and answer session.
Wonderful, Jagdish. I think it was an excellent session, and something which really appealed to me in your presentation is, we have a lot of talk about the basic low-hanging fruits and idea, duplicate vendor invoices, expense outliers. But what you've done is you've gone over and above, and you've shown bonus calculations, you've shown sales incentive calculations, which are very complex and tricky because there are many drivers which influence it.
Correct.
So well done. Jagdish, I have a question which, before we open up questions to the attendees, I have a question which is kind of aligned to a question from Ansh also, which is in the chat. And he said, how have you been able to maintain the momentum for IDEA over the last, say, 7 years, 8 years since you've been using IDEA? What are the skill sets you've invested in to ensure that the IDEA journey keeps moving? it shouldn't halt. So how have you all done that as a team within Alkem?
So basically, to answer this question, idea, I would like to answer that skill set which he has asked. Skill set required for any analytical tools, for idea analytical tools is basic skill set only, and you should have analytical thinking and do not require you programming skills. With the help of basic analytical skill, if anyone is having in your team, you can easily do the programming. And previously, if you have worked in Excel, if you have knowledge of Excel, that then idea analytical tools is similar to that Excel only. Basic formulas are used, and also in the analytical in the idea script there are predefined scripts also. If you are not having the knowledge of how to write the script, then you can use those analytical predefined scripts. With the help of also you can generate the exceptions and use in the into your deck. And also there's one more thing. If you are not having, you can take the help of experts who is an expert in this. They can help you to provide how to write the scripts.
Yeah.
It is basically a simple basic script you can easily do. If you're not having the skill set, then you can obviously take the help of idea analytics expert sales.
Wonderful, Jagdish.
And also
Jagdish,
to maintain the
yeah.
momentum, here what I mean to say, in consulting firm, they are using frequently for different processes. And here, if you want to maintain the momentum, you require your repetitive tasks, where you find the risk more. Those tasks you can define the script and use those scripts on monthly basis. With that, you will keep on getting the exceptions, and you can also track the key functionalities in your idea on monthly basis, and on time you can report to the management also.
Wonderful, Jagdish. Very good insights. Jagdish, if I can request you to place your email ID in the chat box,
Sure, I will
because
put
there
the
aren't any questions which have come in yet, but I'm sure they will think about what you've presented today, and I'm sure there will be questions which may come to you tomorrow. From because I'm looking at the list of participants, and many of them are actually users, and I'm sure they'll have questions to you tomorrow.
okay, fine, no, not an issue. We'll share the email ID in chat box. They can question, they can ask doubt afterwards also. We
Great.
are
There
ready
is
to
one
help.
question, Jagdish. There's one question from
Yeah.
Vivek. Data analytics is a great tool for auditors to find out red flags, but shouldn't we focus more on the root cause and the process of improvement, that is manual and automated controls implementation? So Vivek is presenting, the part which is the flip side of data analytics. So can you talk about that from your experience?
Data analytics tools is basically is both for improvement purpose also and for this also analytics also, because with the help of analysis only you will come to know the what are the gaps, control gaps. And if you don't know the control gaps, then you will not improve. Means, for example, I will take simple example, that bonus calculation which I have presented in this. With the help of data analytical tools, what I did, analyze those validate those conditions. And then I have identified what is the root cause, like delay in updation, or someone is having access to master data who can modify backdated change, done backdated changes also. Those types of exception and root cause we can identify after analyzing, getting the exception, and going into deep and discussing with the auditees. You come to know those types of reasoning and root cause. And after discussing with your, I think we can plug those gaps and avoid the future occurrence of the same.
Good one, Jagdish. Jagdish, I think a lot of compliments coming in from attendees. They've complimented you for your presentation, your slides, your thoughts, your ideas.
Thank
And
you.
we are really fortunate to have you with us today. So if you can just, everyone, Talaisa Jagdish at gmail.com. Jagdish has put his email ID in.
Yeah.
Please
If
take
anyone is
note of
having
that.
question,
You can be in touch with him after the session. And Jagdish, I don't see any other questions. I'm sure there'll be questions which will come in tomorrow. So I wanted to thank you on behalf of SAMA Audit and the rest of the team and the attendees for giving such a wonderful presentation. This video is going to be up on the SAMA Audit YouTube channel tomorrow. And we look forward to having more such insightful, engaging sessions in the future. So Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jagdish, for your wonderful session, and wish everyone a great evening ahead.
Thank you, Jairam. Thank you all attendees. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.